All right, what's up, fellas? Wake Up Mintzy, Tuesday morning. Got the Stella Blue out. Got the dude wipes to clean up all our messes. Coming to you from the Barstool Chicago office in good spirits because I'm joined by the one, the only, a man who needs no introduction whatsoever, White Sox Dave. How are we doing this morning?
I'm doing well, Mintzy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And then we also have John Elko, Tim Elko's dad, on video joining us as well. So we've kind of got maybe one of the more unlikely trios we've had here. Mm-hmm. This is a great Barstool thing. Good morning, Mr. John. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Good, thank you.
Well, I guess we're all kind of coming together here because so Dave, this is the first time Mr. John's met Dave.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Elco.
Yeah, he
Same here.
The biggest White Sox fan I know in the office. You've been a lifelong fan.
Yeah,
right?
lifelong fan. As I understand, you're from Chicago as well, Mr. Elco, and yeah, diehard White Sox fan. I detest the Cubs. I like my entire life is loving that team while also hating them and hating the Cubs. So, welcome to Chicago, Mr. Elco. Welcome home to Chicago, I should say.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I'm from Chicago originally. You know, I moved when I was 10, but my whole family's been Cubby fans. I was a Cub fan my whole life, and then we moved to Massachusetts when I was about 12, and we became Red Sox fans. And so, you know, Red Sox fans and Yankee fans have a thing going too. So I kind of know about the little bit of rivalry, shall we say? But we're all wearing black and white now. That blue stuff's.
Yep.
I don't want to say it's been burned, but it's in the closet forever, probably.
I got my White Sox black and white shoes on today.
There we go. I love it, man.
Yeah. So anyway, Dave went out. He came on Saturday. I went to my first White Sox game ever. We went to Cork and Carry and Turtle pregame. Went and sat. He sits in section 108 behind the foul pole. Good people, Dave.
Yeah, the best. I'm sure you've come to notice quickly, Mr. Elco, that the White Sox fan base is exceptionally tight-knit, especially for a professional organization's fan base. It's a lot. I mean, obviously the differences are good and bad for both the Cubs and Sox. Like the Cubs have, Wrigleyville, Wrigley Field, massive fan base. White Sox smaller, but I love the White Sox fan base, and I'm glad that you guys are finally officially a part of it as of Saturday. As you saw, we wanted that call up to happen a lot sooner than it did.
Well, the timing isn't always ours, but the timing we believe is always right. So it's okay. It's going to work out fine. Yeah,
it sure is.
Out.
Well, and then just this weekend, I got to sit with y'all a good bit, and it was so awesome seeing two of Tim's Ole Miss close friends and teammates, Max Schofield and Mitch Merrill came up here. And, man, just I can't imagine. What was that like as a parent? Just the first getting to see him, major league debut. I mean, obviously Tim's I believe he's 26 now. 26 now.
20.
The journey for those who don't know, Tim at Ole Miss. You had the COVID year when Ole Miss was like 16-1 and number one in the country, and then Tim tears his ACL his junior year. Still managed to hit all these home runs and DH on a torn ACL. Right. And that was ultimately why he came back for his senior year, I assume.
His fifth year, yeah. That's the truth, Mintzy. He's got a story. I mean, people say, oh, he's 26, he's 26. Well, do you know why he's there and he's 26? Do you realize what he has gone through to get to that point? And, 2020 was probably his best year ever coming out of the chutes at Ole Miss, and it's his draft year. And they shut the season down at 18 games, and it's over. And that's he's been working for that his whole young career, and it's over, So he said, well, I got to come back. I'm going to come back because it's a 5-round draft, right? So he comes back for his fourth year, his senior year, starts off even better than the year before. And, National Hitter of the Month and blah, blah, blah. And then he tears his ACL in a freak accident at first base. And people are looking at that going, well, he's done, And he wasn't done. So he came back. After that injury, and, they went to the regional, and he decided, he and his buddies, Bench and Graham, were like, you know what, we're coming back for our fifth year because of COVID, and we're going to win a world championship. And everybody's like, yeah, sure, roll your eyes, and that's that. So
a statue later, and here we are.
Yep, here we are.
No, that last year too. Tim's got a flair for the dramatic. I can tell you that because that Ole Miss season. They were top 5 preseason, and Kevin Graham, who's in AAA in Reno for the Diamondbacks, broke his wrist early. Him and Tim were the 3-4 hitters. And Ole Miss started 1-8 in SEC. They were 7-14 in the SEC in early May, and got hot. And Tim got the "don't let the Rebs get hot" going, and they swept LSU in Baton Rouge for the first time maybe ever, and then caught lightning in the tournament. And Ole Miss had only made Omaha in 2014 since forever. They get to Omaha and just run right through it.
Go through it.
And just run right through it. It was like a movie. It was literally like a movie.
Yeah, and obviously collegiate baseball is not big in the Midwest at all in any way. I wish it were bigger, but I'm kind of a novice college baseball fan. I'll watch the College World Series in Omaha, and I'll check the top 25 a couple times a winter, and early spring and late winter. But your son is obviously one of those names that's always kind of transcended the sport itself. Obviously, basketball and college football are the two collegiate sports. Baseball is a distant third, but your son transcended that. And when the Sox took him, 13th round, right?
10th.
It was 10th round. I don't know why I thought 13th. 10th. And it was only 10th because he was a fifth-year senior, and he had no leverage to do – so they could push him out of that and give him that $10K signing bonus or whatever they gave him. So it was really cool to – yeah, exactly. So it was really cool to get him into Chicago, and he's torn it up since he's been here, and it's finally coming to fruition over the last weekend, and I'm excited. I want to see him hit 40 bombs, and I think he's got it in him.
Whenever you tell Tim he can't do something, he does it. And so, he's been knocked down, he's been spit on, he's been, ridiculed, whatever. You're too old, you're too this, you're too that. And every time you knock him down, you look away, turn back, and he's standing again. So this what is this? You can't keep him down. It's tenacity, it's a belief in himself and belief, really.
I want to ask about the minor league journey, because he started out at High A in Winston-Salem, then Birmingham AA for the Barons, and then tore it up in Charlotte. What was and I want to ask what that was like for y'all as parents, just having to travel and go to the games. What was that whole journey like?
Yeah, it's kind of expensive because you got to buy a lot of caps. Every time he changes the team, I got a closet full of minor league caps. So but no, I mean it like you say, it was one level to the next, and it was kind of nice in being in North Carolina. My daughter is a doctor, and she was doing her residency in Winston-Salem in North Carolina. So it was kind of nice. We could go up there to Kannapolis, and we could go up there to, Charlotte and Winston, of course, right there in the same town for a while. And, we could all be together as a family, which is kind of our vibe, Yeah, it was awesome.
So I was actually in Rome 2 weeks back, and I was lucky enough to be out there for some of the rise of the Pope. Now, I'm sure you've seen that. Obviously, you've seen that the Pope is a White Sox fan, but I'm not sure that you've seen this part. A lot of people think that your son is the Messiah because he got called up the day after the Pope was named Pope or elected Pope.
That's old news. You should have been in Mississippi a few years ago. But anyways,
yeah. So yeah, he actually is the Messiah. It sounds like.
So God is moving. God is moving, and now God is moving in Chicago. Maybe something's going on there that we need to know about.
I hope so, because it's been a rough few years. It has been a rough few years. What? That's actually the question I have for you guys. When you saw White Sox, were you like, oof, considering the last few years? Or were you like, here, this is a challenge, let's change that?
Oh, I don't know about that, but I mean, I think he was just so happy to finally get his shot to play big league ball. I mean, I don't care. It could have been any of the 30 teams. I don't think that entered into it one bit whatsoever. Mm-hmm. He never think about that kind of stuff. He's got his eye on the target.
Love that.
Well, and I know that had to be fun with you growing up in Chicago, and then I'm getting drafted by a Chicago team. I mean, that's kind of.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got I've got a lot of family there. I mean, there was a ton of them there for the debut. But of course, like I say, they're all ex-Cub fans. But yeah, it's exciting. It is exciting. I don't want to say he's like a hometown boy, but his old man's kind of a hometown boy, so it's kind of cool.
A little bit. Now, did you grow up city proper, or are you from suburbs?
Suburbs, yeah. I mean, we actually moved when I was 10. It's kind of a long story. I won't go into the details, but we moved when I was 10 out of Chicago. But but I'm from. I was born in Evanston. We lived in Des
Okay.
Plaines. My
Yep.
mom's from Skokie. My dad's from Glenview or from Niles. My relatives are all in Glenview, and they're all over the place.
So
So
you
yeah,
grew
all
up
in that area.
going to Sarkey's, I'm assuming. That might have been a little too.
Now, yeah,
Sarkey's
probably too
is
early
an
for me.
awesome sandwich joint right in Winnetka. I'm sure you've
Oh,
had
okay.
what's a wing joint up there that everybody loves? Buffalo Joe's. I don't know how often
I
you've
mean,
made it back.
I'm a huge Vienna beef hot dog
There
guy.
we
So
go. That's all
whenever
you
I
need to
get to
say.
Chicago, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when I get to Chicago, the first time I get off the airplane, my wife's like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, "We're stopping right here at this place that says he's got the best in the world." So,
There we go. Vienna beef. It's the only hot dog that I'll eat.
Well, I want to
Mitzi.
ask Dave. Okay, so last year, obviously, everyone knows White Sox lost 120 games. So, I mean, total rebuild here. I asked Dave all about because I'm learning the roster. He said the pitching's like major league average. He said it's just the hitting. The hitting.
It's young and raw, but the stuff is absolutely there. I don't think they quite know how to pitch yet, which is not an indictment on them themselves. It's just they're young and raw. But I mean, they show flashes of like Burke. Obviously, Shane Smith's been awesome, and Jonathan Cannon's got like 95, 97, which is heavy sink. And I'm sure your son could answer this himself. Like, that's got to be both miserable to hit against in practice and in, backfields, but you're also getting better because you're seeing that nasty junk, So I'm bullish on the players themselves. I just don't quite trust the organization as a whole quite yet, considering the last few years. But we'll see we'll see over time, I guess.
yeah, things have a way of working out.
Yeah.
Well, he came up. They've called up a bunch of people he came up with that were succeeding in the minors in this last month, right?
A few,
yeah.
a few. Caro,
Yeah,
yeah.
Carroll and Baldwin. He came in with Baldwin.
Yeah, Brooksy,
but just
he's
getting
got
called
that
up.
weird, yeah.
Yeah,
He's got that
Draw.
weird small guy pump. Yeah, Mydroth, he looks great.
He does. Yeah.
They got
does.
guys. It's gonna be a few years before actual
Well.
competitiveness, but I mean,
Yeah.
individually, there's interesting pieces all around.
You
So-
got a core there. You got a core, and sometimes it just takes time to develop that chemistry.
Yeah.
I know when it's a big league sport and it's all about a lot of money involved and whatnot, that we get people coming and going and it's kind of playing for themselves. But when you look back at the college guys and you realize that they learned before the NIL and the portal, they learned how to stick it out when things got tough. They actually learned how to come together as a team, and they were like, it's like playing for a team, but you're playing to win. You're playing as a team to win. And I think when you know how to win, I think you're going to figure out, because they all got the skills. It's a mental game. The mental and the physical come together, and that history of winning. I believe if you can keep that core together, you got something there. I believe it. And you got the Pope.
And we got the Pope.
Hey, I'll tell you what else you got. I mean, I know he's only in high A, but you also have Braden Montgomery coming.
I over the last obviously.
I mean,
You guys are the college baseball fans. I am the college baseball fair weather fan, as I said. But I'm only familiar with him at like more so from the draft when he was drafted by Boston last June through the trade. I didn't watch him at all at A&M. That dude he's a dude. He's awesome. So I'm very excited about him. Obviously, Tim's here. There are a handful of other guys. You got Schultz. You got Hagen Smith, who I know you're.
Hagen. Oh, how's he doing?
A lot of walks, but he's got like 40 strikeouts in 20 innings. So but I mean, like I said, individually pieces are there. Organizationally,
I mean, you named a bunch of SEC teams. If you look traditionally at who excels at that level before you get to the big leagues, what
the
teams
SEC.
do we see there? We see SEC. Every guy you just named off, Hagen Smith, you just named them, Jonathan Cannon.
Yeah,
they're right there.
Montgomery.
So
Big Ten baseball's trash. I obviously like UCLA, USC, and Oregon are all ranked, I believe. But I mean, those I don't even count them as Big Ten schools right now. They're Pac-12 schools. Big Ten baseball's trash. Yeah.
I'm curious. So
I don't
the
know about
fan.
that.
The fan base was making a thing. I mean, there's obviously room. Like a lot of people are talking about, Andrew Vaughn and Tim play same position, but I mean, you just play first base, and they alternated Saturday, Sunday with Tim playing first base, and then Vaughn played on Sunday. But I mean, it's fine. I think there's room for both of them.
So
right?
long as Elko's in the lineup, 9 out of 10 games, yeah. I don't care if he's DH, and I'm sure he wants to play the field, but like so long as obviously his stick is what's going to be the most important part of his arsenal. So long as he's in the lineup 90% of games, then I don't care. Like that's how I see it.
I mean, we need a team full of guys that can hit, right?
Yeah.
That's what we need. Right?
So thus far throughout most of the year, like the big difference between last year and this year is and I don't know how much you were watching the Major League roster team last year, but they were losing like 8-2, 8-1, 7-zip every game. So far this year, not a lot of wins, but it's 2-1, 3-2, 1-zip. It's like, man, they just had a little offense, which Tim provided on Sunday. 3-run bomb, and that's the difference in a win and a loss right there. So. I mean, they're close, It's much closer than it was a minute ago. So,
yeah, I know it's hard to be patient, but I believe it can happen. So,
I gotta say the White Sox, just the fan atmosphere. Like I said, those were my first two games. I really liked it. I sensed the same vibe you said. Like when you look at the Cubs, they got 1 million fans. They're a worldwide fan base. The White Sox thing. I don't know. Everybody just, like you said, it seemed close-knit. And I'll just be honest, from a fan's perspective, you can just get $10 and $20 tickets and just Uber right there. And it's just so convenient. Awesome. It's so convenient.
Yeah.
Like going to Wrigley.
And the food's amazing.
Yeah, and going to Wrigley is like, it's like an epic experience, but they shut down Wrigleyville. It's hard to get in and out. It's like 200, the tickets are expensive. Like this is going to be great. I want to ask about the moment Sunday because he came up first and third, bottom to sixth, and like just that first major league 3-run shot. I mean, on Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, I'll say I've seen a lot of great sports moments in my life. That was top 5 to top 10 I've ever seen live. Like just to be there for that was just. The thing was like as crazy as it wasn't even surprising, like you said, because he's just always been doing this. But just see 3-run shot to win a game, second game.
I gotta imagine Mrs. Elko was
here. We got the video.
Had a lot of tears rolling down her face when this happened.
Yeah, she was.
Maybe you even had a bunch of tears rolling down your face.
I tell you what, I was just I was eating a bowl of ice cream, and I was like, you know what, Timmy, you're due, buddy. I got a feeling. This guy's gonna hang one because they're not all Nolan Ryan. They're not all Maddox. Nope. Guess what? Sometimes they hang them. And you know what? Voila. You hang one. Yeah, because I get it. The best hitters in baseball, are out 7 out of 10 times. I get that. That's why you need a huge sample size to figure out if somebody can do it, right? But you know what? That was one of his 3 out of 10s right there. So
I'll tell you this, too. He's really going to like hitting in Sox Park because it is tailor-made for a player like him. Like when he gets hot,
he goes to the right a lot.
I know. He stays inside the baseball very well and works that right center gap very well. And it's a small park, and the ball has a wind tunnel going out that way, both left center and right center.
It.
So
can see
he's
those flags flying hard.
Oh yeah, he's gonna love it there.
Well, he's been doing that inside thing since he was like 7 years old. It's hilarious because. We would have competition after practice. Hey, let's see who can go oppo, And Tim would just go boom, boom, boom. And then I see people on the internet, oh, he's late on the pitch. He can't get around. What is this guy? And I'm thinking, oh, my word. Have you ever even played baseball? This guy is doing something that everybody wants to be able to do.
The ability to use, for a right-handed hitter, the right center gap, and I think Adam Eaton, I know it's an outside the box name, but Adam Eaton, I loved watching hit because a lot of lefties, obviously, you shift them and they're dead pull, but Adam Eaton would stay inside the baseball and work that 5-6 hole between short and third. He would pepper it, and it was beautiful. And he was a smaller guy, obviously, so he wasn't hitting bombs. But Tim's similar way, obviously 6'3", 6'4", 250. He's a monster. He's a linebacker, and he does the same thing. He stays inside the baseball and just works that right center gap. And when he's hot, it's a thing of beauty, and that's like how you separate a really good hitter from someone who's like a 3 outcome guy that's just bomb walk strikeout. And
just
Tim
saying,
using
please
that,
throw him outside.
Yeah.
Well, I can imagine this is just like a whirlwind. So he gets up here. I guess he's like staying in a hotel. Like they just call it like Y'all found out what Friday afternoon, I believe.
No, we were driving up Friday because we were going to Charlotte, and because we were going to go for Mother's Day weekend, and we're about a half an hour outside of Columbia, South Carolina, and the phone goes, it's Tim. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Something's wrong. He never calls, and he said, Dad, you guys on your way? I'm like, yeah. He said, well, you might want to turn around. He goes, I'm not going to be here when you get here. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I want to be a big leaguer. So we pull off to the rest area first one, and we're scrambling to look for flights for Saturday morning, and we're like, yeah. So amazing.
Man,
I'm super happy for you guys, and I mean, he's the young guys are the reason to watch a team right now, and it was getting close to mutiny in the fan base that he hadn't gotten called up, as I know you guys saw it, even whether you want to admit it or not. I know you guys saw that out there on Twitter.
I look
and
at
all
Twitter.
that.
I'm good.
yeah.
So
The Future Sox account's good. I follow that. The Future
those
Sox
guys are the
account does a
best.
great job.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Sox Twitter, it's a weird thing, like, because there's like I don't want to like forget anybody, but you got Section 108 guys, you got Future Sox, you got On Tap, you got Chicago Sports Bums. Like, I hope to God I'm not losing or missing anybody, but it's a really smart, really tight knit fan base, and you guys are gonna love it.
Yeah,
You guys are gonna love it.
I think so too. I already do.
Yeah, heading to Cincy tonight. 3 games there, and then White Sox, Cubs, and Wrigley this weekend. Like,
If you could just pass the note to Tim, and as someone from that, you left here when you're 10 or 12, you said, but like I'm sure know the dynamic in Cubs versus White Sox and how much that means to the city. Please tell him to just pound them into smithereens this weekend, just please, because they're cocky and they're arrogant and their fans are like, oh, the Sox are loser. Like, please, we don't ask for much.
I'll tell him not to try to do too much, and big things will happen.
I like that even better. I like that even better.
what are the Cubs White Sox games like?
It used to be way different. Like when both teams are competitive, if it's a night game, the stadium's very drunk and it's very violent. And I don't think that's a good thing per se, but it's like if there's gonna be fights, no matter what, it's just unavoidable. But it's a legit intense rivalry. There's hatred, and if your team wins the season series, that's like bragging rights until next year. It's a big deal. It used to be much bigger, obviously. White Sox have bigger fish to fry than the Crosstown Classic right now, but it's Cubs Sox. You throw out records.
Well, they're day games, I guess. So that's helpful in terms of the drunkenness. Yeah. And then I have to ask you: is it safe to wear our White Sox gear into the
Totally.
Okay.
I'm of the opinion you should never wear gear of a team that's not playing. But so like if it's
absolutely.
that's just a tacky look. But I mean, the White Sox are playing, you're good. I'll be wearing my stuff.
But
right.
I'm going to keep rocking Ole Miss gear at White Sox games. That's
Love
okay.
It. Yeah, that's totally cool.
What did you think, Dave, when the guy walked up to us with the Marlins cap and the White Sox shirt to take a picture?
That was like I don't like that. I think that's. I mean, would you wear an Ole Miss jersey to an Auburn LSU game? No. No, that's just that's a tacky thing to do.
I know. I saw him do that and walk up to take a picture, talk to you, and you were like being nice to him, but I was like, I could tell you were passing judgment.
Yeah.
That's too right. That's too funny. So y'all going to try to make it? Or y'all? I mean, obviously plans are in flux. Y'all are everywhere because y'all are in Oxford and Charlotte.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my wife's still working. She works full time, so it's just picking up and going. But we are seriously going to make our best effort to get there because I really don't want to miss it. And we're already out here, so we might as well do it.
Yeah, Oxford to Chicago is like 8 hours. It's not the worst.
Yeah, it's really
it's not as bad as you. It's really not as bad as you think.
I would have guessed longer than that. That's not too bad.
Oxford's almost in Tennessee. It's up north, so it makes it.
It is. It's about 8.5 hours, and honestly, I do that with my eyes closed. I've been driving so much all these years and sometimes I do it with my eyes closed, which is kind of weird. But
you just all of a sudden transport your destination. Whoa, how did I get here?
We're here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I went to the famous Southside spot Rico Beanies for lunch. It's like a mile from the stadium.
You should treat Mr. Elko.
Yeah.
To all the local Southside establishments.
Well, I'm learning it. I mean, this is all new to me. But I can't get over the feeling like I grew up in Louisiana. I went to Ole Miss. I've never had a real MLB favorite team because it's like when you grow up down there, it's like a bunch of bandwagon Braves fans, but I hate the Falcons because the New Orleans-Atlanta rivalry, the WGN National Cubs thing, and Rangers and Astros, and I never found a home. And like this weekend, I was like laying in bed Sunday night, and I realized I was like, this is a void in my life I didn't even know existed.
Well, we're happy
Me not having an
you.
MLB team, and now I'm all in on the White Sox thing. And like you said, they're embracing it. I mean, I thought it was like a thing when I was in the games the other day already.
Totally. You're gonna love it. It's a really fun time, especially when they're winning. So
awesome. Well, Mr. John, I just want to say thanks for joining us this morning. This is too much fun.
My pleasure.
And it sounds like we're all going to be spending some time together here in the future.
Sounds great.
welcome
great.
to Chicago
Looking forward
once
to it.
again. To your whole family,
Thank you
Mr.
so much.
Elko, and I know
you.
Tim's he's gonna tear it up, and like you said, it's not really unfortunately about wins and losses this year, but so like the pressure's not on to perform too much. Like go out there and see what you can do, and
Right.
and as he's done his whole career, the results will follow, and they'll be good results, So
That's what we're praying for.
I thought
Sticking.
I thought one other thing that I thought is good too. You never know what's going to happen, but it feels like they're giving him a long look, bringing him up here, because especially when nobody's hitting above 230 in the lineup.
He should have
like
550, 600 unimpeded at bats. Like I said, nine out of 10 games he should be playing, or more. Like whatever he should be in the lineup every day. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Mr. John. I'll be at the Seattle games Monday. I'm going Monday and Tuesday night games to Seattle. I'm out of town this weekend, but I'll be out there Monday night.
sounds good.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mr. John. Dave, did you see?
You're welcome.
Oh, heck yeah. Thank y'all for letting me spend time with them. They're a great family. How awesome is that?
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm trying to figure out how I want to word.
Man, the party in long, plus 425 tonight.
Right, I saw
That's
that.
brutal.
Yeah, I mean, DraftKings knows he's a power threat.
I know, but I'm glad we hit it Sunday because
And
he's
they're-
going to be 4-1 going forward.
Are they at home tonight?
They're in Cincinnati. Cincinnati Tuesday through Thursday, and then at
Another
Regal.
hitter's park though, so I wouldn't anticipate him have long shot home run odds at all throughout the year because he's gonna hit a lot of them. I think, I think there's a good shot he ends the season with 20 bombs. Which I mean, he missed a third of the year. So
that'd be. I'm for that. I want to touch on some stuff from last night. I mean, I don't know how much NBA you watched. That Jason
didn't watch one single.
Well,
second.
last night was tough, man. The Celtics Knicks had game 4, and New York was up 2-1. It was in the Garden, and it was a back and forth great game into like the middle of the fourth, and then Jason Tatum definitely tore his Achilles. I mean, it was non-contact injury.
And he just
and he was screaming in pain. Got wheelchair out. I mean, it was just horrible.
that's
and he had
awful.
42 points when it happened.
That's as bad of an injury for anybody as you can get for any athlete, and let alone Jason Tatum, an explosion athlete.
Yeah, and then so New York won, and now they're up 3-1, and Jalen Brunson went off, and it was a huge party in the Garden. But it's so crazy in the NBA because everybody just said, including me, like everything's a waste of time until Celtics Cavs Eastern Conference Finals, and now Indiana's up 3-1 and New York's up 3-1, and neither the Pacers or the Knicks have a good chance of playing the NBA Finals, which is pretty wild. The other game, the night game,
they're 4 seed. What seeds are they?
they're The 3 and the 4.
It's the 3 and the 4. Okay.
And then in the Golden State Minnesota series, Minnesota blew out Golden State in the second half last night. Now it's 3-1 Minnesota. Steph Curry's out with a hamstring injury.
Yep.
They're dead. The Golden State's dead. And then the Thunder Nuggets is really good. It's 2-2 going back to Oklahoma City. And then the hockey last night, I gave Blutman a towel from when I went to the Golden Knights Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final I hope for luck, but they got destroyed last night at Edmonton like 4-0. They're down 3-1. And the Caps, poor PFT and Nate, they're down 3-1 now to Carolina. And so, but it's still really fun because the new YouTube TV multi-view thing where you'll have
like it. Yeah.
Well, you'll have one in NBA and
Yep.
NHL. I was just like sitting there. I was like, this is great.
That's how I don't use it near as much as I should, but it is cool on YouTube. I do like that feature.
Second summer in Chicago coming up. Vibes are high. What you got on tap? You just got back from Italy.
I just got back from Italy. I tell people this, like I've gone to Europe 3 times in the last year, twice for leisure, once for work. It is cheaper to fly to Europe and to travel there for a week or 10 days than it is to go to fucking a domestic location for
New York
or
LA,
any
or LA.
I went to LA over from Christmas to New Year's, like for a 3-day little trip in that week, and that was a $4,000 vacation. I spent like $5,500 in Italy for 10 days.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's so. But on that note, I'm going to Pittsburgh to see White Sox Pirates. The toilet bowl, as they're probably going to call it. But I need to see PNC. So
when's that?
July 18th or something.
Okay.
So a couple months, but I need to see PNC. Unfortunately, it will be at the White Sox also in the stadium, which I try to avoid, anything White Sox related unless I have to, like when Tim Elko gets called up. But yeah, got to see PNC. So that's pretty much all I have on the to-do list this year.
Well, where'd you go in Italy?
Went from Rome to Tuscany to Lake Como.
Wow, I saw the Lake Como pics, man.
That was Tuscany you saw. I didn't feel like showing off much, but Rome, unbelievably cool. The architecture and the Latin and the history and the food is unbelievable. Tuscany, it's like the countryside. It's as laid back and as can be. Unbelievable food as well. Como, touristy. Don't need to go back.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
Unbelievably cool.
Yeah.
Glad
you did it once. Yeah.
When I'm traveling, I want to be relaxed, and that was just like I don't want to wait an hour in line to get on a boat. I want to get on a boat.
Yeah.
So
how would the Italy food live up to the hype?
It was. So I've traveled all over Europe now. It's the best food in Europe by far. France, I would say, was awesome too, but like German food stinks. British food's not great. Austrian food's German food. Swiss food is like French, German, Italian, like fusion.
Yeah.
Istanbul was all like really good, but nothing was awesome and nothing was bad. It was all like the same. But Italy, you're just like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're eating pasta, and it's some of the best pasta you'll ever eat, and you can eat all of it because their food there is just better.
Yeah, they're
better quality.
Organic. They're not putting a bunch of crap in it.
A bunch of shit in it. It's so. I love Europe.
Last thing I got for you, Chicago Marathon. You're in.
Mm-hmm.
You did, and so you did it once before.
I have done it once.
Did you what? Do you remember your time or?
I ran it in 5:25 my first time. Now I have had 2 fat periods in my life. I had a fat period from when I was like 23 to 26 or 27, right after college, and then I ran the marathon in 2016, lost a bunch of weight. Then the COVID hit. 2020 to 2022, I was fat again. Maybe 2019, a little before that. I'm no longer fat. I run very, very regularly, as you guys all saw against Captain Cons, that loser. So I'm glad you brought this up because since I run so often and since I've already done the marathon once, I don't want to do it. I'm doing it because other people are doing it and I got goaded into doing it. So on that note, I need you guys to, and who else is doing it? It's me, you, Mackenzie.
I mean, we got a bunch of people. Mackenzie, Cody. Zoopy, Garrett, like a bunch of our behind the scenes crew.
Okay, so we need to start a Saturday morning run group. Along the lake, we meet at Lincoln Park and we just go north, go south along the lakefront. And
I'm in.
But I will say, the first time I did the marathon, I started training in June for it, and I was at like a 0. And I finished it in 5:25. And now I'm in the best cardio shape of my life. And I'm starting from like a 7. So I'm going to be lazy about the training, which I don't want to be.
Well, you're already the hardest part is getting to where you're already in shape.
That's
I mean,
my
now all
point,
you got to
but
do is just practice the mental long run thing.
That's exactly it. And I don't like doing that because it's just a waste of time to me. So I need you guys to like schedule run buddy groups.
All right, let's do it.
No, not let's. Not that means like us.
I'm in. Let's do it. I mean, okay.
Not let's. That implies we. You guys.
Okay, got it. You need you're relying
yes,
for external.
I need you guys to tell me, Dave, get your ass here Saturday morning, 9 a.m., whatever, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., doesn't matter.
All
Get
right.
your ass here.
I'll talk
because I'm not going to do that. I need you guys to do
I'm
that.
going to talk to the boys today about it.
Okay.
My question to you is like, what am I getting into? Like, what's mile 16 or 17 like when you have 10 left? Because that's the mental part I hadn't figured out.
So at the time, I was living on Augusta Boulevard, not far from the United Center. I was like a half mile, or no, it was exactly a mile directly north of it. So you get to a point, it's at mile 15, where I could have, at the 15-mile marker, I could have taken a right and been on my couch in 10 minutes or whatever, or taken a left and continued on with the marathon. That 15-mile marker is like, that's where you're like, fuck this, I got 10 left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When if you run that far and like you're probably motivated first half,
right?
But when you look up and you still have 10 miles,
I mean, at that point, you're just you put your head down and run, and you're just like go. I ran nonstop through mile 15 the first time, and then I would like run and then I got to a point where I was running a song in my headphones and then walking a song. And I would just rotate that. And then the last like 3 or so miles, I just like put my head down and scooted the rest of the way. Like a half walk, half run. I mean, have you done a half, right?
Yeah, I've done multiple.
If you can run a half, you can finish a full.
Yeah, I think it's a one-time thing. It can be done.
I mean,
like you said, you did it once. That's why I don't know that I'd be motivated.
Your goal should be under 6. Okay. Under 6 is like 70 percentile.
Okay.
I was at like the 55 percentile. So
Okay.
a little worse than half.
Okay. I ran a half in 2:29 about a month ago.
Yeah, I think under 6 is a fair goal for, and my goal will be about 4:30.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, I would think definitely under 5.
Under 5, I would be sickened. I think I could get under 5 right now.
Yeah, I do too. I mean,
yeah,
you're in really good cardio shape. Well, cool. Well, we're going to be running for Paul's great charity. Going to be raising money.
We're going to be, and I don't have this workshopped yet, but my girlfriend's family owns a bunch of bars in the Chicago area, not in the Chicago area, in Chicago. We're going to be doing some sort of puppy fundraiser.
Cool.
At her bar, at her family's bar. For all of us to like help raise money because we're all in charge of $2,500.
Yeah. We got to get it done by the end of August too.
Yeah.
So we got to get it because usually like fundraising last minute's usually where you get it when everybody's like people are thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah. It's Barstool After Dark tonight. They're going to beat Mario 1. That'll be interesting.
No, they're not.
That's a tough one to beat.
No,
I remember
not.
I was obsessed with that game.
They are not going to beat Mario 1. There is no fucking shot they do that.
I remember level when I was a kid. I was like 7. I couldn't beat level 8 too. I have like childhood memories of like I'd crush it, but then that exact.
I was a Zelda guy.
Me too. I was too.
More so than Mario. I would like to see them try to beat the original Zelda.
The second Zelda 2 was the hardest one.
Was Zelda 2 the hard one?
Yeah, the Zelda 2 A Link to the Past was like really hard.
Wait, are you talking N64?
No, Nintendo.
Nintendo.
There was 2.
Link to the Past. I thought that was 64.
There were 2 on Nintendo and then 1 on 64, but the second one
there's 2 on 64.
Okay, well the second one on Nintendo was really tough.
The first 2 I blend together, but I remember the first one being like, if you can beat this, like you have something wrong with you.
Yeah, I could beat it when I was a kid. I was into it. Well, awesome. Well, we're gonna get out of here. Shout out Stella Blue, Dude Wipes. Find Dude Wipes at Amazon, Target, Walmart, all over the World Wide Web. Let it rip with Dude Wipes. Unbelievable product. My dad loves them. He's been posting pics with them, which is hilarious. And man, looking forward to a great week here at Barstool and more White Sox games. I'm gonna watch tonight, man. Now I got something to watch every night.
I'm excited to watch as well because I like to watch Mydroth, Elko, and Carol play. So they're giving me a reason to watch, even though they're probably going to lose.
All right. I'll take it easy. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mintzy.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
I'm serious about that run club thing, too. Like, I'm not going to do it because, like,